Where my Hasanabi heads at, dude? Hey, what's that? 66% of Jewish teens in the U.S. say they sympathize with the Palestinian people. What happened? What happened? What is this? Oh, yeah. Let's start with the Stop Anti-Semitism dumbassery. So this account is like run by a genuine fucking freak, okay? Some Long Island housewife that is just like the most insane person of all time. She's been doing this shit for a while. I mean, it's not one of the accounts that has like a lot of motion overall. I think nobody really takes it seriously. We've covered this already. I covered this extensively as far as you know how weirdly enough, out of the past 4 years, the one time where she actually chose like the anti-Semite of the year, it was Kanye West that was actually anti-Semitic. The rest were actually not anti-Semitic at all. They were simply anti-Israel. And you can kind of tell from this, from this lineup, the top 10 finalists, myself, Corey Bush, John Cusack, Greta Thunberg, and Bassem Youssef being on here is pretty silly. From what I understand, Jess Natalie also not anti-Semitic, simply anti-Israel. And then, you have some people peppered in there that are definitely both anti-Israel and also, varying degrees of anti-Semitic. So I said this is a perfect demonstration of the unserious nature of these kinds of groups. There are progressives who are anti-Israel lumped in with anti-Semites who are anti-Israel. No one's buying this shit anymore. Bassem Youssef says, Hasan, you can't have great hair and win this too. Leave something for us. So I'm going to probably try to have Bassem Youssef on. He had some funny takes about it, but Felix says, I feel like I'm going to have a Scorsese type deal with the Anti-Semite of the Year award where they'll probably finally give it to me for a year where I was only kind of anti-Semitic in order to make up for all the times I wasn't even nominated. In a recent interview with Middle East Digest, Natalie claimed she was drawn to the Israeli-Palestinian conflict as a young teen through Tumblr posts about Rachel Corrie. While many view Corrie, a human rights activist, as a hero, the truth is she ignored warnings from the IDF and placed herself in the path of a bulldozer, resulting in a fatal injury. Jess Natalie has accused multiple members of Congress of being controlled by special interest groups, specifically targeting John Fetterman and calling him a genocidal maniac. Oh my God, Jess Natalie is incredible. She claimed that all it took was $222,000 from AIPAC to sway him to support Israel, insinuating Jews control the government, a popular anti-Semitic trope. Wow. I like that Israel will be like, hey, or people who are pro-Israel will be like, hey, that very common trope that is damaging and anti-Semitic? I am going to make you feel like that damaging trope is actually very valid by saying you're doing tropes when someone talks about a very real thing that is happening, okay? And then tie it back to Jews in general. It's crazy. It's actually fucking crazy. Anyway, Bassem Youssef had some jokes about it. He said, please vote for me. I cannot lose this. I don't know, dude. Hasan has a pretty big following. Maybe next year. He said Hasan is great, so that's pretty chill. But also, he said, guys, please don't let real Candace Owens or Dan Bilzerian beat me in this. An Arab should win this, people. Also, don't vote for Hasan the Hun. Too much of a good hair. He's too handsome. He can't win good hair and this vote. Too unfair. I'll be devastated if I lost to Greta Thunberg. Not her, no. I can't lose to Jake Shields. Well, he can kick my ass anyways. Why beat me here too? I don't mind losing to John Cusack. I'm a big fan anyways, so vote. And if Candace and Dan win, I will not accept the results and storm X headquarters. But the thing is, like he's memeing on this shit, but I don't think it's I'm not chummy with these with the people. You know what I mean? I'm not chummy with some of these motherfuckers because I think that they are anti-Semitic. And that's one aspect of this that I'm kind of annoyed by, and I won't fuck around with it to that degree. The case to vote for you, according to Stop Anti-Semitism, meet contenders for Anti-Semite of the Year, the individuals who've gone above and beyond in spreading Jew hatred. First off, Hasan Piker, defended Hamas terrorists after the 10/7 massacre, denied documented atrocities, including mass rape and murder, profits while violating Twitch's own community guidelines, using his massive platform to amplify anti-Semitic propaganda. Yeah, definitely. Denies mass murder? No, you didn't. It doesn't matter, dude. You can just lie. And no, you can't. The fuck am I going to do? Sue her for libel? I don't want to be around this fucking freak. Shut up. Stop constantly demanding litigation. How do you subject this? How do you subject yourself to this every day and not rip your head off? Dude, I've been at this game for quite a long time. And I would much rather be in the position that I'm in now, where like there's so many people who are just like, these people are freaks and they're out of their minds. Normally, the progressive space that I occupy 5 years ago, if there was something like this coming out, they would be like, oh, I'm writing this fucking guy off. He is a Nazi. Also, I think the real reason why they say this is because of this. Okay? 1/3 of Jewish American teens say they sympathize with Hamas. Israeli government poll shows. Okay? What a fucking self-owned by the Israeli government for putting out this poll. Survey shows 66% of Jewish teens in the US say they sympathize with the Palestinian people. That's right, baby. That's right, baby. Hey, where my Hasanabi heads at? Where my Hasanabi heads at, dude? Hey, what's that? 66% of Jewish teens in the US say they sympathize with the Palestinian people. What happened? What happened? The survey by Israel's Ministry for Diaspora Affairs and Combating Anti-Semitism found that 36.7% of American Jewish teens either agreed or strongly agree with the sentiment. I sympathize with Hamas, Israeli media reported on Thursday. The number contrasted sharply with the 7% of Jewish teens living outside of the U.S. who agree with that statement. An even greater percentage of American Jewish teens, 41.3%, agree with the statement that Israel was committing genocide in Gaza. Only 10% of Jewish teens living outside the U.S. agree with that statement. Yo, what the fuck's going on with the non-American Jewish teens? Like, what's happening? Do they not have access to TikTok? What the fuck? We got to get those numbers up, man. We got to get those numbers up, baby. Hey, where my Hasanabi heads at? A majority, 66%, said they sympathize with the Palestinian people as a whole. Oh, the horror. The horror. Still, a significant majority of those polled said they had pro-Israel sentiment. 62% of American Jewish teens consider themselves to be Zionists, while 84% believe that Israel has a right to exist as a Jewish state. We still got a long way to go. We still got a long way to go, folks. We got a long way to go. The survey comes more than a year after Israel began its war on Gaza, which started as a response to the Hamas-led attack on southern throughout the course of the war. Israeli forces. Anyway, we're getting there, though. It's a good start. For all my Jewish teenager Hasanabi heads out there, I love you all, okay? You know this. Your cause is just. Keep pushing, okay? Did you see Israel is pulling its funding from Haaretz? I'm not surprised. They're just a not fascist state, I promise. In 2021, polling showed that a quarter of American Jews agreed that Israel is an apartheid state, and a majority of them did not find that statement to be anti-Semitic. Several polls in the U.S. have indicated that while a majority of American Jews hold pro-Israel sentiments, a significant minority is critical of Israel's treatment of Palestinians. The Israeli Ministry survey says that young Americans had weaker Jewish identities and called on First of all, shameless to be like, oh, they're anti-Israel. That means they don't have a strong Jewish identity. It's fucking gross, okay? And they called on pro-Israel Jewish organizations to target younger age groups to strengthen their Jewish identity and subsequently their connection to Israel. Furthermore, their connection to Israel is weaker. They have less desire to visit Israel. They tend to support the Palestinian side in the war in Gaza, and their support for Israel increased only marginally following the events of October 7. Middle East Eye reported earlier this year about the rise of anti-Zionism among young American Jews. You can't let the toothpaste out of the tube. You can't put it back in, okay? Once you let it out, you can't put it back in. That's it. Yeah. Yeah, it's like the ADL said, it's not a party problem, it's a generational problem. Also, Damm Falastini is a too much of a banger. I think the reason the poll is different, by the way, between the U.S. and outside of the U.S. is Islamophobia is crazy in Western Europe. Yeah, it's crazy. This past year has changed a lot of my fellow Jewish friends' opinions on Israel. Yeah, I feel like a lot of people either hardened their position and like went down a scary path, or many of them, especially in our age group, went in the opposite direction where they were like, oh my God, I'm horrified at the contradictions that this nation state that was presented to me as like the singular savior of all Jews is actually doing horrifying atrocities in my name, and I don't like that. And that's understandable. Okay? Unc, you're 40. Okay, everyone under the age of 35, okay? That's it. And there's still obviously like some resilient undertones here about like Israel's necessity to maintain itself as a Jewish ethno-state, which many people don't think about beyond the fact that like, oh, it has to exist. You don't understand. Do you think that certain content creators who are ostensibly not far right will ever understand the sheer volume of Islamophobic fodder they provided to the far right? No, and also they don't give a shit. If you're Islamophobic and you present yourself as like a relatively progressive person with Islamophobic tendencies, you don't give a fuck if you are engaging in that sort of thing. You're already Islamophobic. It is very, very difficult to contend with that cognitive bias that you have for like one specific group. It's also heavily promoted and reinforced through different aspects of media. As a Jewish teen, all my other Jewish friends who are pro-Israel were already pro-Israel before October 7th. However, all my other Jewish friends who are pro-Palestine have mainly changed their opinions post-October 7th. Yeah. Also, we got this. Kamala Harris wants to run again. Yeah, that's not going to happen. Okay, so it doesn't matter. Hey, if you like this video, please subscribe and hit that bell so you don't miss out on any future videos.